So today we're going to show you how to do a basic haircut with clippers. So you'll need grades 1, 2 and 3. You will also need a hairdressing comb and scissors. Don't use kitchen scissors. You can order very cheap hairdressing scissors from Amazon. I will pop a link in the description below and you can have a look at those if you need to get them. So it's pretty straightforward. I'm just going to go through it step by step and show you what you need to do. Okay, so Phil hasn't had his hair cut for about 3 weeks.
About that.
Yeah, about 3 weeks. So we're going to go in with the grade 1 first. And how I kind of would recommend you do this is imagine their hair in kind of like 3 or 4 sections. So we're going to have section 1, which is going to come from this point all the way down to the bottom near the nape. Then we're going to have another section which is going to be 2, another section which is going to be 3, and then 4 sections going to be on the top. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to section off that top section just so that you can see it a little bit better. We're going to wet down the 4th section at the top just slightly, trying to leave the sides as dry as possible. So the section that we are using now is called a horseshoe section. So it goes from each point at the front and meets at the back. So once you're happy with your horseshoe section, it's going to go all the way around to the back in a semicircle and then all the way again around to the front. You want each side to be equal. So visually now we're going to create 2 different lines, so 3 different sections. So you're going to have everything below this line, everything in the middle, and then this section at the top. So what we're going to do, below that line that we've created, we're going to just go in with grade 1 up to that point. So just sort of around the ear and down towards the nape. So we've done the first section there, so we're now going to follow that visual line around to the back. So you can see I'm just going in with a grade 1 and we're creating quite a harsh line here, all the way around to the nape. Got some hair here, so we're going to go in downwards just to take some of that off, but we're mainly going to tidy those bits up at the end. So we're now going to go in around the ear. We're now going to do the same on the other side, just creating that visual line and going all the way to meet that point in the centre. So you can see here that we've gone in with the grade 1 and created that line all the way to the back, which meets with the other side, and the same along here. So I've just switched to the grade 2 on the clippers, and we're now going to go in again over that line about an inch depth and just start to take that hair off just to work the graduation up. So you're going in at that line that we've created for about an inch depth, and then you're just going to flick it away from the head all the way around. So you can see now we've created another area here with the second grade. So we've got grade 1 up to this line, grade 2 up to this line, and then we've got this long hair at the top. So I've done that all the way around to the base of the nape, and now I'm going to do the other side. now we're going to switch to the grade 3 and do the same thing, working up to blend into that line. So we're going to go in and just flick up like this towards that line, just really blending that hair in. Okay, we're only going to do it about 1 inch at the back, because you'll see, turn a little bit further, you've got this hair here that's still quite long, so we're going to just go in and flick up 1 inch. So now we're going to go back in with the grade 1 and we're going to blend this first line in. So we use the grade 1 up to here and then went on to the grade 2. So we want to blend from short to long. So we're going to use grade 1. What we're going to do is we're going to go in, we're just going to flick out where that line is. Really quick flicking motion. We're going to do the same on this side, and we're just going to blend that first line in. So I've taken the grade 1 off now, so we've got no grade on, and I'm just going to go around Phil's ear and tidy it up, and just tidy up his hairline as well. So if you want sort of like quite a harsh hairline at the back, you could put a line in and work down. So you've got like quite a strong hairline, or you could go up and flick out just to meet the grade 1, which is what I'm going to do now. It's just slightly softer. Around the ear, we're just going to use the very corner of the clippers, and we're just going to go in and pull that edge off. So we're going to go back in with the grade 2 now and blend in the second line. So now we're going to take the top section down and comb it forward. So I'm going to spray it down as well with the water spray, and that includes the back section as well. Just turn your head to the side. With this bit that's still a bit too long, doesn't really meet the graduation. So we've wet the hair down, and we're going to just put in a profile parting from center forehead all the way down to the back. We're now going to do like a hot cross bun section just below the crown, so there will be like a cross in the hair. So that leaves you with, kind of go like that way, the profile parting down the center, and then this split that leaves you with sort of like the back section that we're going to do next. Take a section down the middle, about 1 inch depth. We're going to take that in our fingers and work up from that shortest point, just straight up towards the sky. So that's just going to blend those corners in, and then what we're going to do from that point, we're going to pivot from the center there around in sections. So we'll do this one next, and then we'll do pivot again, do that one, pivot again, and do that last one. So we're going to do this side now. So we're going to work from that center parting where we've already put in our guide, and then we're going to pivot around to the next section, creating a little triangle section, and then going up from that bottom point all the way up. Okay, so now we've done our area around the crown. We're going to use this hair here as a guide as we do our diagonal sections forward to blend these two sections in. So we'll start on this side, pulling that hair forward that we've just cut. We're going to go in, do a diagonal section forward, part the hair, just so you can see where you're working. Take the hair in your fingers and cut the section. So you're kind of like running parallel to the head shape here, so you want to sort of like pull your fingers out and have that tension, but keeping this corner up here the longest so it's not too round. Go in and take your next section. So from that last section, I'm now going to start exaggerating the forward sections, just because we like to keep a little bit of hair a bit heavier at the front. Right, I'm going to leave that section for now, and then I'm going to start on this side. So the same thing, I'm going to pull that hair forward and start at the back here. Just following that guide so you can see that line. Just going to join that together. And then the last one, we're going to extend to that front section. So now we're going to start doing the top, which we're going to cut square. So we're going to put in a guide first. So you want about an inch section through the center, like so. You're going to start at the back, pulling it up from the crown, just working with the head shape. So we're going to point cut here, just so that there's no harsh lines. Then at the front, we're just going to extend that section up, just so we keep a little bit more length through the fringe. So instead of cutting it square, we're just going to bring our fingers and point it upwards. Once you're happy with the length of your guide, you bring it forward and pop that profile parting in again. So then you've got a bit of your guide on each side, so you know that it's equal. And then you're going to start at the back, bringing the hair up square to meet that guide. So when I say square, I mean this line here is going to be straight. So imagine there's a box around it that is a square. You're just going to keep those ends nice and square. So you'll notice it gets longer towards the front because you elevated your fingers to create a bit more length at the fringe. Onto the other side. So we'll comb the fringe forward so that we can cut that. And you can see that you've sort of put your graduation in, and now this hair where you've sort of left it a bit more disconnected, it's quite a bit longer than that graduation. So what we're going to do now through those sections, just to meet that corner, is we're going to comb it back to that corner and just take the edges off, just to blend it through. So you can see there, those bits just sit a little bit softer and closer to that length. So we'll do the same on this side, comb it forward, bring that hair back to the graduation and point cut it through. what I'm going to do is just put a slight layer through the fringe just so that there's a bit more texture to it when we mess it up. So we're going to hold it just forward from the face and point cut into that, but not reducing the length, just sort of putting some internal layers in. So I'm quite happy with that now. If you have someone that has really heavy hair, you're going to want to sort of like just grab sections that are quite heavy and point cut straight into the hair. So not diagonally, not flat, but straight in. That's just going to remove a bit of weight from the root. I'm going to dry it off now. Beautiful! So I've just finished blasting off the hair. We're going to put a bit of product in, which is the American Crew Defining Paste. You've been using this for ages, haven't you? Mm-hmm. It's just like a matte paste, it's really nice. And yeah, it adds loads of texture. So we're going to warm it up in the hands. What we do to deposit the product is we're going to go across and just really get it in at the root, because you don't want too much at the ends. You just kind of want to like get that texture in through the root. So once you know that that's all in, you're just going to direct the hair where you want it to sit. And there we go. That was an easy haircut, just with clippers on the sides, a little bit of tension with scissors at the top. But apart from that, we are all done. Are you happy?
I'm happy.
You're happy?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Amazing.
Right.